Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. Happy Wednesday to you all. Happy hump day. So guys, I want to touch on a topic. I was talking to a gentleman. He's a YouTuber, a very, very popular YouTuber as well. You know, I'm trying to get there. But we were having a conversation about why so many public figures and celebrities and all that stuff like that are so unhappy, right? And of course that's not all, but it is a great majority. In fact, a great majority, but it's not all. Personally, I believe the ones who are not who are happy. I'm sorry guys, I always forget to turn off my notifications and they're blowing up right now. I personally believe the ones who are happy are the ones who have God at the center. And I'm not speaking about churchy, holy, sanctified, none of that. Just God being the center, the core of their lives. And even if they're struggling in certain areas, you know, the fact of the matter is God is their source. And so many other celebrities, what happens is they start to make their money their God. That is where all of your emptiness, all of your, lost and brokenness and all that other stuff that comes into play, right? So I was reading last night. I was reading I can't remember what it was or how I even got to it, but it was a bio speaking just in detail about what's the guy, the white guy who we all love, who played on A Living Color, Jim Carrey, that's his name, I think Jim Carrey. And I was reading this information, and he was just talking about how he deals with depression. And I'm not saying depression is not a part of that. Depression is a part of not making God your source. I'm not saying that, but I'm speaking in general right now. He was saying how he deals with depression, and he deals with so much anxiety, and he feels, like he have no confidence, no self-worth, and all the stuff. And so I just started to think about what I was reading, and then how many other public figures or celebrities who I've met or even had conversations with, especially now, really a lot more now. And I'm being connected to more and more celebs and public figures. And of course, most of them are really going through it because of what's going on now, and they're not really able to, be out here and perform and do what they do, and they're struggling. And you got people who are clueless, who feels like, oh, well, celebrities, they shouldn't be wanting anything right now because they should have all this money and they're rich. Listen, the more money you got, the more problems you got. The more money you got, the more responsibilities you got. So, okay, you may have children who's in public school, right? Respectfully, or even private school. Well, they have children that have to go to a certain type of school because they are a celebrity. And so the point of the matter is, the more money you make, the more responsibilities that you have. And then you're probably taking care of your family, all that stuff. A lot of people are depending on you, your staff, all that stuff. Now, you got staff and stuff who you love genuinely, and they're struggling, and you're pretty much like that source who everybody comes to because they think like you have it. So you're trying to help everybody. You're helping your staff who are struggling because you want to still make sure they're good when you do go back to work. You're helping your family. You're helping this person and that person and that person. And before you know it, everybody's pulling from you. And what happens when people are just pulling from you? They start to pull from you in every direction. So it starts to leave you empty. Why empty? Because you're now starting to feel like, you know what? If I didn't have, would they still love me? If I didn't have, would they still be here? So you start to equate your value and your self-esteem with what you have. So when you no longer have it, it's almost like, who am I? And so if you have God at your source, it's almost like, okay, I'm going through something, but I know who I am. I'm grounded in who I am as a person, not as an artist. But when you are getting your identity in what you do, that's a problem, because the same people who build you up will be the same people who tear you down. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. Look at Michael Jackson. Look, like, it happens all the time. These people will put you on a platform and having you feeling so invincible. And the minute you take a fall, or the minute, your little human self happen to make an error, now everybody's bashing you and everybody else joins the bandwagon. And now you're sitting here feeling down because you don't have fans, you don't have people supporting you, you don't have nobody calling you because you don't have money. So how would you feel? That would really make me feel empty, knowing that people can only support me, or people can only think about me when I can help them. And that's not only a celebrity, that's for regular people too. But I'm just, speaking in general right now about celebrity and public figures and things like that. So that's why you have so many individuals who are rich and they're still dealing with, that feeling of worthlessness and self-esteem issues. You feel like, well, goodness great. If you're rich, if you've got low self-esteem, just go and do this and go and buy this or go and get this surgery, because that's what the natural mind is thinking. Like, you got all this money, go make yourself happy. Happiness doesn't come from the outside. It exudes when you're internally happy. That's why it's so important that we have to work on our inner being. Because when you work on your inner being and you're grounded in who you are as a person, not your label, not your title, that's your profession, that's your gift, that's your such and such. But if you take all of that away, who are you? And the most important thing to be able to really locate is knowing that who you are in God, who you are, the person that God created, the purpose that God have created you for. What you do, your job, your career, your entertainment, whatever you do, all that stuff just branches off. But we got to get to the core, tap into that core of who we are. Like I said, we can't put confidence on. We can attempt to put it on, and we can fool some people who really are just vain, I guess. But even when you're attempting to put confidence on, let it be through clothes, let it be through makeup, whatever, surgery, whatever it is that you do, anybody who is truly connected spiritually, have discernment and just really, they're just really tapped into, they see past that. And they know you're not confident. It's all a facade, But when you know who, and listen, you want to keep yourself up. So I'm not saying that, right? We want to still look good, ladies, right? And guys, but we still want to look good. So don't get that twisted. But I'm just saying that's not your identity. So once you tap into truly, truly, truly the reason why, God have created you, and you start to really walk into your purpose and your calling, you're going to dominate that area. And when you dominate that area, that's when you will start to get so fulfilled, and it just grows and grows and grows and grows and branches off to other things, and people see the light in you and all that stuff. Why do they see the light in you? Because you're authentic. You're authentic. You ever seen a person? I do all the time, and like they're coming at you and they're telling you how real they are. Man, I'm real. I'm loyal. Da, 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 da. And you're just like, okay, but in the back of your mind, like, listen, I see all through you. I wouldn't trust you with a can of rice. You might steal one of my grains of rice, honey. But that was corny. That was corny. But anyway, guys, I hope this helps someone. I just want to encourage you guys. People want to think that money makes people happy, and it doesn't always make people happy. If you weren't happy prior to getting the money, then you won't be happy. In fact, it's going to be worse, because like I said, you're going to have people pulling at you, and now you're going to question everybody's motive, including family, So money doesn't make you happy. You got people who are married who are extremely happy, and you have people who are single and extremely happy. And guess what? Each one think if they had the other, they would be happy. So you got people out here who who are dying to be married, and somebody else who's married is dying to be single. So you have to just do what works for you and walk in your truth and not allow society to tell you what you should do. You should be married by a certain age. You should be have children before you hit the wall. And nowadays hitting the wall is 30. I guess I'm just child. but before you hit the wall, you gotta be, college educated and have 25 degrees. I got friends who got 29 degrees and still working regular 9-to-5 job. No disrespect, but the point of the matter is they're sitting here paying back 50,000 student loans and working, at Walmart, respectfully. No disrespect. And I got friends who never even finished high school and who are very successful in their business. So that's why it's just so important. If I stress a lot of things, but one thing I stress is be your own leader. Don't let society put stuff in your mind. As long as you and God approves, that's all it is. These same people who's giving you all this advice and you should do this and you should be, these people are miserable behind closed doors. So it's easier for them to focus on your flaws because it's too difficult for them to correct their own. So that's all I got to say. But please, guys, true happiness comes from when you are being your authentic self and walking in your authentic truth. It is too energy draining to try to be something that you're not. Like, it's just, that ain't the business. That ain't the business, honey. They're going to talk about you if you're doing good or bad. People will talk about you if you're broke. They're going to laugh and say, oh, girl, she done fell off. He done fell off. Oh, he's broke. When you get rich or when you get put on, or they done forgot where they came from. Listen, these people will talk about you if you do good or bad. They will support you when you're up and dog you when you're down. Y'all better stop finding your identity in society. Not y'all, but you know what I mean. But anyway, you guys have a great one. I have to go back into Walmart. I left something. I have to go back into Walmart. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.